Getting back to the topic, I was speaking about the mercy of a woman. Look at the comparison given in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Let me tell you, if there is a court case going on, and there were two women who had seen the murder directly of another person, and they were called into the courts. As they are walking into the court, I'm giving you just one example to bring it closer to your minds. As they are being called into the courts and walking in, there is a woman, an old lady, crying in tears, just at the door. This old lady is saying, touching the feet of these women, my dear sisters, I have a big problem. And she is crying and crying. What will the sisters do? They will sit down. My dear mother, don't cry. Never mind. There is nothing too big to solve. There is no, I have a problem. I have a very big problem. I have so much difficulty. I have so much problem. One after the other. Please help me. What will they say? They notice a sister of theirs and they will say, okay, we will help. What is the problem? The life of my son, the only breadwinner of my home, the one who brings money and I eat from the wealth. I buy food and I eat. That son who pays my rent. He had murdered someone erroneously, by mistake. And you were the witnesses. His life is in your hands. Please help me. Don't send him to the executioning chair. Don't let him get the death sentence. Please, just say you didn't see anything. And the woman is pleading and pleading. If there is one woman, she will walk into the court. Tell me, when the judge says, what did you see? Her level of mercy will drive her to think twice. She will have flashes of the image of the murder, and at the same time, flashes of the image of the young woman or the old lady who was outside, crying and begging for mercy. And the confusion of both flashes, that is the level of mercy that a woman has, greater than a man. She might tell the judge, most probably, the least she will do is to say, look, I can't really remember what I saw. I vaguely recall. I can't really remember. Why? Because she wants to save the old lady. It is possible that this can happen because we know the level of mercy of a woman is far greater. But tell me, if there were two of them, as they were walking in, the minute the old lady would say, you know, my son had murdered someone, one of the two would tell the other, look, don't listen to her. Let's get up. Let's keep on walking. We are going to be diverted from the course of justice. So the two of you walk together into the courtroom where the Shar'i Qadi is sitting. Subhanallah. When two men come to bear witness, they will be interviewed separately. Believe me, it's my field, the Sharia. But when two women come in, they will be allowed to stand together in the box to look at each other and discuss. His shirt, was it grey? No, it wasn't grey, it was a little bit dark. The other one will say, no, it was black. I'm sure, oh yes, it was black. Okay. Now they present their evidence, it was a black shirt. Subhanallah. The Quran says, أَن تَضِلَّ إِحْدَاهُمَا فَتُذَكِّرَ إِحْدَاهُمَا الْأُخْرَى. Because one of the women, why do we need two? One of them might, for one reason or another, not really remember what had happened, or might have been made to forget because of statements of the likes of the old lady outside, the example I'd given you. So the other will remind her, give her comfort. Let me give you a living example. I had an armed robbery, may Allah protect us all, in my home in 2000, March the 11th. Where a few people came in with guns. In 15 minutes they cleaned the home. My wife was there, my mother and my sister-in-law. We made dua, Ya Allah. We know what has happened here. At least life was not taken. At least people were not beaten. Ya Allah, you deal with these robbers. It so happened There was a roadblock on one of the roads and they had a shootout. 3 of the 4 men were shot dead. The head had escaped. He was jailed. In fact, he escaped, but he was caught a little bit later, apprehended, and he was jailed. They called us. We need you to come to confirm that this is the man. Come and see him. What happened? 3 women, none of them wanted to go. No one. We are not going. But why? We need to catch this robber. If we go, tomorrow he might find out who was there who got him in jail. 5 years, 10 years later, he's going to come back for us. We rather leave him. Allah will deal with him. Subhanallah. 3 women, but they were weak. That was mercy in their hearts and the fear of their own children suffering tomorrow. To say we might not be in the home, but we have teenage daughters who are in the home. What might happen to them? Maybe we will go and bear witness. Someone, somehow the news might leak to this man that there were those 3 Muslim women who had come in and they witnessed against you. What will happen? I'm just giving you the example. So for this reason, Islam has raised the status of women and said, look, you can help one another out, no problem. When you come in the court, come 2 of you, don't worry. Come 4 of you, come a large number of you. You can talk to each other, don't worry. But present the justice. So that is a positive point rather than a negative point. Subhanallah. Similarly, when it comes to the home, and I'm going on to another point now. When it comes to the home, what happens? Some women find it difficult to do what? To put forward a plate of food with a smile in front of their husbands. Subhanallah. They find it difficult. They are told by others, you know what? It is oppression. How can you serve your husband food? There is equality. You cook one day, he cooks the other day. Subhanallah. Yes, point understood. But we go back to the West, the same people who put that argument. And we tell them, oh women of the West, you are stopping our women from putting forward a plate of food in front of their husbands. And you are saying that they are oppressed when they do that. But when the same woman, 37,000 feet above sea level on British Airways or South African Airways, is dressed scantily and presents plates of food in front of 300 strange men who have nothing to do with her, with the biggest smile, showing them 32 teeth of ours, then we are liberated, subhanallah. And we dress in such a way that when they look at us, they cannot sleep in the evening because our image keeps on flashing in their eyes. And we make movements in such a way that had they been able to, they would have had a feel of us. It's a fact. Then we are liberated. But one plate of food in front of your husband, you are oppressed. Wallahi, my dear mothers and sisters, forget about 32 teeth. If you showed your husband 16 teeth, the problems in the home would be solved. Subhanallah. In fact, not even 16, only 8 teeth. The problem today, we don't even want to show our teeth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Look at this double standards. How they have convinced our women to go and serve others. And they call it liberation. And when we serve our own, we are oppressed. Subhanallah. And 37,000 feet above sea level is closer, subhanallah, to the skies. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us guidance and hidayah. Another thing. Yes, women in Islam are allowed to go out to work for as long as the conditions of work do not compromise the framework of the Sharia. But the duty of breadwinning is the man's in the house. We know this as Muslims. So if a man is bringing in 2,000 rands and the woman decides that, look, I would also like to go and contribute and bring in another 1,000 or 2,000 rands, I'll work for an hour or 2 or 4 or 6. Let her go out so long as she is working within a framework that does not compromise her marriage and happiness and that does not compromise her Islam and Sharia. She is a good woman. She is helping, contributing towards the home. But today, no. It is something else. When we marry, the man already says, you know what? The accommodation we have, we're going half-half. Already he is 50% a sissy. May Allah protect us. 50% out. He imposes it on his wife. And then he says, you know what? Never mind. You go out to work, I'll look after the kids. Subhanallah. The tables have turned. And how have the tables turned? They have turned in a manner, and I will end with this example. It is a long example. They have turned in a manner that is very, very dangerous. Look, if you read Surah Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the example of the sun, the moon and the 11 stars. I'm sure we've come across that example. إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ يَا أَبَتِ إِنِّي رَأَيْتُ أَحَدَ عَشَرَ كَوْكَبًا وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ رَأَيْتُهُمْ لِي سَاجِدِينَ. When Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam told his father, oh my dear father, I have seen the sun and the moon and 11 stars prostrate to me. And his father told him, don't tell this dream to anyone. Let me skip straight through to the end of the surah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the meaning of the surah of the dream. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains to us that the sun was depicting the father. The moon was depicting the mother. The stars were depicting the children of the home, the brothers. When a Nabi sees a dream, wallahi, it is a true dream. It cannot be a lie. If it is an example, it is an example 100% correct. It fits straight in to whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to fit into. Let me inform you today, the qualities of the sun outside that we see are the exact qualities that are required from the father of the home. If he fails in one quality, the home will be haywire. The sun shines. It provides light on earth. The father should be the figure in the home who is the head of the house. When the sun is out, people feel secure. They come out. The father should provide the security in the home. When the sun is out, everyone goes out to work to earn. The father should make sure he is the breadwinner in the home. He is the one who calls the shots in the home. I don't mean take out your gun and start shooting on the wall. No.